Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaos. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us in another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael, and we return to England and our Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign. We have a wonderful show to get to. We'd like to first thank all of our Patreon backers. You make the show possible. If you are not a member of our Patreon, you can stop by patreon.com/the Old Ways podcast and jump in. There's tons of benefits and fun things for you to do. Like maybe have a hand in what happens to these fine folks tonight. So we'll start with introductions. To my right,
this is Lonnie. I'm playing Lawrence Edward Oliver Forsyth, and I am in bed. My most likely place to be in any Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Well, this is it's not without reason, though. You were unfortunately very recently stabbed through and through by a large knife.
Yes, a very popular target for putting holes in. Yes, I understand.
You do seem to be some sort of a pincushion, so that is something we'll bear in mind in the future. To Lawrence's right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane, and I'm sitting outside the spice shop because the spice is life.
That's very true. To her right.
This is Jake. I'm playing Jack Doyle, and I am also sitting outside the spice shop. Though I've kind of decided that anytime I get into a fight, I want Lawrence next to me because he seems to attract all the damage to him.
He's like a damage magnet?
Yeah, I like that.
It's an interesting idea. To Jake's right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and I need a book so I can read a book.
It's kind of strange how that works, isn't it? Or maybe you should bottle a Frenchman or something like that.
Is there a way I can do that?
Well, I mean, read enough spells.
Oh.
Okay, so last but most certainly not least.
This is Alex. I'll be playing Simon Granger, and not only do I not fit in bottles, I am doing my absolute best to not gas myself in this room.
It's an excellent, excellent idea. And I think that's a perfect place to begin. So we're going to move our spotlight directly over the flat of one Simone, who has slowly and very carefully toiling to create a chemical concoction, which after an hour or so of work, after your wonderful landlady stopped down to make her final adjustments, as the sun is beginning now to set over London, you realize this bat should be pretty close.
Excellent. Well, while it is finishing up, I will begin gathering a bunch of tools and random things and stuffing them into my bag, keeping an eye on the pot, obviously keeping the windows open, keeping my head wrapped. I'll very carefully stow the outfit that I put together. And once I'm pretty confident that everything is good, I will give the pot a little bit of time to cool, and then I will put it into a bottle and then cork it.
Yeah, the bottling process is a little, not nerve-wracking, but it's still a little bit concerning.
I'll be as delicate as I can be.
You take all you have your precautions, your things, and you do have the fact that this probably isn't even the smelliest thing going on in Limehouse right now. So you have that going for you. But you bottle your concoction.
I will make sure that I have a few extra rags stowed, and I will lock up the flat. I'm going to actually head to the tube, or the nearest entrance to the tube.
Okay. What's your destination in mind, then?
I'll be trying to make my way to Southampton, which I should be maybe like like hour and a half, maybe 2 hours away, right?
Yeah, probably about an hour or so.
Okay.
Give me an hour and 15 minutes.
The things that I'm considering on the way there to the tube anyway, and the reason I'm picking Southampton, given the state of affairs in London and, the an unrest regarding employment. And I'm not sure timeline-wise, so feel free to correct me. Has the general strike started yet, or is that like not happened yet?
It has not happened just yet, but
Okay.
it does happen in the near future.
Sure.
So that's not that is to say, I guess, for thematic purposes, as you saw on the way up to Derby, there are an awful
Propaganda
lot of people out of
circling.
work. Oh yes.
Okay. So my thoughts are Southampton is close to the water. It's close to they have their own docks. They have their own situation there.
Oh yeah.
So my thoughts are I want to head to Southampton and see if I can find perhaps a warehouse that has a recent rental sign or that has been abandoned, or some sort of, basically I'm looking for either a large, like, empty building, a vacated building, or a place that looks like it would be worth renting. And I would like to look for a place that has a door big enough to fit a truck. So that's my thoughts going into Southampton. I will also be looking for, around the same area, either groups of people who appear to be unemployed or recently unemployed or are pissed off in general about the situation going on. And if I can't see them out in the open, then I am prepared to visit a few bars and see if I can find where, particularly what I would consider to be like dock workers, warehouse workers, laborer types to be gathering.
Yeah, Southampton is probably full of workers such as that, either coming on or off of larger ships. People come to Southampton to find work, and it isn't lost on you, having already been to Southampton once in the recent weeks, that there are men of varying ages who have not been able to find work. So you'll know the area will be a good landing spot for those types of people. Whether they're just waiting around for the next job to open up, or whether they're coming off of a job and then they're spending their worldly wealth in any number of pubs.
Sure. And I'm not sure what the conversion rate is on like pounds to pound sterling, like how that works out, and what the prevailing wage for like a laborer would be. I just have no idea. Like, I know that I have some money. I just don't know if I wanted to hire a laborer for a day, like how much money would I need? If I'm assuming that, I was paying someone like a prevailing wage.
In the 1920s, a common worker might make, 5 shillings, maybe.
How many shillings in a pound?
20 shillings to a pound.
Awesome. All right, great.
1 shilling is divided into 12 pennies.
That's what's going on. I take my bag and I throw it over my shoulder. I hop on the tube, and I head to Southampton.
Okay.
You said the sun is setting, so it's like late afternoon?
Yeah, you'll probably arrive there about dinner time.
Okay, great.
We will move the spotlight over to the spice shop, where Jack and Lillian are enjoying a little bit of probably some coffee, maybe some tea, and they are keeping their eyes ever so slightly towards the spice shop, just to see what may be going on.
You ever been on a stakeout before, Lillian?
No. So what does one do on a stakeout besides, feel like you're stalking somebody?
This is literally what you do.
Does it get exciting ever?
No.
Oh.
Never.
So what's the plan? Waiting for somebody to go in that we recognize, or?
Well, I want to see if anybody comes in that may have be some interest to us, whether it's somebody connected to the Penhue Foundation, or somebody from the Blue Pyramid Club, or somebody else entirely. Barring that, maybe we'll follow the proprietor when she leaves tonight.
Oh, I wonder if she's going to go to the Blue Pyramid Club.
Well, that's a possibility.
Wouldn't mind going to check that place out.
Yeah, maybe we can do that again tonight.
Okay, so I guess my question to you both is, if it's about, say, maybe 3 or 4 when you start the stakeout, how long do you figure you give it?
I would think a couple hours.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a few hours probably.
Okay. So around about 5 o'clock, maybe a little bit after, the sign to Empire Spices, the sign of the front door, flips closed. And probably a good couple minutes after that, you see some of the assistants that she had in the store, gentleman who was sweeping the floor, and then another person come out, and they seem to walk down the streets of Soho in a different direction. Why don't you both give me a spot hidden roll?
90 or 92.
43 out of 88. Hard success.
Wunderbar. Lillian, you notice that there is a section of the upper floor of this spice shop that a light goes on upstairs. And your eyes are pretty well keen, not just because of your ability to remember basically everything that you run across, but you can see that there must be some sort of a loft up there, or maybe there's some sort of apartment above the spice shop. A couple of the other windows are open. You can see that there's someone moving around up there. The light itself from the apartment that's up there, it shows pretty brightly out here in the streets of Soho because the sun is now dipped beneath the buildings. And so it's one of the first lights that's on in the area. And Jack, you notice that, but you also notice, and maybe it's just your eyes playing with you a bit, but in one of those windows, you would swear that there is a well and finely crafted bust of a cat. And you can see that there's some sort of ornamental golden piece across the front of this cat. And you feel like you get this itch in your hand at first. Like, you know,
That's a nice statue.
maybe you need that. Yeah. You're going to have to figure out a way to get there.
I know one night when she's not going to be here.
When's that?
New moon.
Is that when they do cult things at the blue pyramid? Okay.
No, I think they go out of town on that night.
It's like, are they going to be werewolves? But that's a full moon. Does Jack see the light? Obviously, Jack sees the light turned on and he sees somebody. Okay.
Yep.
So I don't think the proprietor's leaving the building.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
Okay.
Just give it a little more time.
I'm okay with that. I continue sipping my coffee.
Okay. Another hour or so passes and the light goes back. And at some point, maybe 5 or so minutes after the light goes off, you see the woman, the proprietor of the shop, exit the front door. She seems to lock it. And then she moves off down the street.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, we're going to trail her.
You know, you would love to trail her. You really would. But that statue really is calling you, Jack.
You know, she's gone. Now might be a good time to get into that building.
I thought you wanted to go see where she went. I look at Jack just kind of oddly.
Well, you know, she's probably got some information, something up there of use to us.
Okay. Is he acting odd or anything?
You can make a psychology roll if you'd like.
Sweet.
If Jack is attempting to be a little bit more, he's trying to cover up what he might be outwardly presenting, he can also roll psychology.
That's all right. I failed that shit. Like,
Well, I failed too.
So you're not really sure, Lillian, whether or not Jack's got something going on, but with her out of the building, I guess it makes sense.
I look at Jack and lead the way because I don't know how to unlock a locked door without a key.
Luckily, I do.
So just sizing this place up, Jack, you know obviously that the front door is one method of way in, but it does appear that there's a gate on the east side between the spice shop building and a neighboring building. There's some sort of wooden gate, like a fence.
I think I'll go there first. Is the gate locked?
It is.
Cover me a little bit, will you?
All right.
Oh, I failed.
Are we going to have to jump the fence?
I don't want to jump the fence. I'm going to spend 6 luck.
Okay. You spend 6 luck, and after a couple of the longest heartbeats, Lillian, you hear some sort of metal lock give way.
Okay, is that it?
It's open, Jack.
Slip in.
You open the wooden gate, and you are now in a very thin alleyway. Probably no more than, say, 3.5 feet wide. It goes straight down, past a couple of chimneys, and it looks like there's a coal chute at the end of the alleyway. Going to continue proceeding that way?
Yeah.
Well, so proceeding down this pathway, you get to what appears to be another gate. But this seems to go towards the yard that is likely in the rear of the spice shop.
All right. Is this open?
It's locked as well.
All right. That is extreme success.
With the grace of a ballerina, Jack's fingers flick over the lock and his lockpicks, and this one he opens in maybe 5 seconds. Opening that, you find yourself in what appears to be about a 20-foot by maybe 10 or so foot yard. There's varying amounts of garbage. There's just some garbage bags and whatnot. There's a door at the far end of the yard, and then there's a door, Jack, that you are fairly certain is the back door to the spice shop.
All right, that's where I'm going.
Okay. You do have the ability, if you fail a locksmith roll, you do have the ability to push the roll, but you'll just have to tell me how you do it. So if your initial pick at that back door does not work well, which an 83 over 66 says it has not, how would Jack overcome that?
How sturdy is this door?
It looks stout, but it doesn't look impossible.
I'm just wondering if I'd be better off just trying to kick it in.
Let's see here. I can give you a fair assessment of Mr. Doyle's ability to do that. You are fairly certain. You're probably pretty sure you could knock it over.
All right,
You might have to really put some oomph into it. All right, so that is a strength roll or a size roll. Either roll for you is the same. So
that's a success. 33 under 60.
Standard success. So a standard success is not going to be enough to overcome it. You need a hard success to overcome this door.
Okay, I'm gonna put 3 luck into it.
All right, spend 3 more luck, and you basically shoulder the door open, and there's a snap from somewhere in the door frame itself, and the back door of the spice shop pops open.
See, that wasn't so hard. Yeah, well, I'm sure this is just a storage area, right?
Yeah, it is. Ahead of you is a very large table. Large. So it's almost like a it's like a dining room table, except that it's almost like a farm style table, and it's twice as wide, and there's different spices and different things in various states of being prepared that have been laid out. Beyond that, ahead you see the doorway that probably leads to the front of house. Just looking around through whatever last of daylight that you have, you can see that cupboard on the wall to your right. There's another door. There's doors to your left and to your right as immediately as you enter the door. And then there's another door to your left as well. So this seems to be the center hive of everything that happens here at the spice shop.
All right, I'm going to start checking doors, see if I can find a stairwell.
Okay. So if you check to the left, you find what looks like a storage room, barrels and crates and that sort of thing. To the right, you find a kitchen, a very small kitchen. And as you move around, you find a staircase.
Going up?
It actually goes up and down.
All right, well, we'll go up first.
So you head up and you enter what appears to be the apartment. Lillian, I assume you are in hot pursuit behind Jack.
Yep, I am following right behind him and also looking behind my shoulder.
Yes. Probably a reasonable idea. So the upstairs here is pretty nice overall. The upstairs is filled with a lot of Egyptian-themed silks and statuary and motif. There's a definite motif here. It looks like somebody has put some time into this room.
Somebody really likes Egypt.
Well, she's Egyptian.
That's true.
The main room here is actually warm. You can tell the actual temperature difference when you guys walk into the main area. And you can tell that it's coming from a room directly in front of you. Directly as you step off the stairway.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, we'll spread out and search.
So, available exits from this landing room that you're in is to your right is where that heat source seems to be coming from. Directly across the way appears to be some sort of bedroom. And then there is something to your left. There's a slight hallway with a couple of doors. The apartment's not very large.
So what door would it be where I saw somebody walking in front of the light?
So that is going to be to your right, and likely it's down the short hall to the right.
Okay.
You're figuring it's a bedroom.
I'm assuming that the heat source is where the kitty bust is. That's what we're going to call it, the kitty bust. All right, I'm going to go to the bedroom down the hall where I saw somebody walking back and forth.
Okay. So as you step out, you go down that hallway. There's a bit of a creak to the floor here. You take a left and you enter a bedroom. This is definitely a larger bedroom.
Do I see any paperwork or anything laying around, or a desk? I mean, I'm assuming there's some sort of desk sitting.
Yeah, there's actually quite the setup here. So it's got a very nice dresser. There is a bed that has a canopy with this beautiful azure colored silks that run down each of the four posts. There's a wide window, and there's the cat statue.
Oh, in the bedroom? Well, apparently it's not in the... Is it drawing me in like it draws Jack in?
No, I mean, it's one of many what appear to be small statuary pieces here. In fact, it looks like there's a number of statue pieces in here. They're tiny. They're not what you would have seen at the Penhew Foundation, but there's definitely something there.
Okay. Was there a desk in that room?
Yes, there's a small desk.
So I'd like to go rifle through the desk without disturbing too many things out of place, but see if there's any paperwork or whatnot that would be of interest to us.
So the roll top desk that's in here is locked.
Ah, damn it. All right, I poke my head out of the bedroom. Jack? I need your lock-picking skills, please.
Yes, of course.
Jack, did you go into the room with the heat in it?
Yes.
So you would have seen in a glass case in that room, you'd have had a moment to see that there were a stand of Egyptian statuettes. So you can roll occult if you'd like, just at sight to see if you recognize any of them.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Nope.
Oh, those are some strange figures. They do kind of get your attention, but you're not sure enough about what they are. And then,
is there any really creepy figures?
Well, no, they're not creepy. They're definitely Egyptian. You just don't know what they are.
Okay.
On one of these tables, there's a copy of some book. It's written in Arabic. It's open to a page. You're not sure what it is. There's also an ornate mirror in this room as well, with a really beautiful frame.
I'll flip through the book real quick.
Do you speak Arabic?
No, I'll just hold the page and flip through it if there are pictures or anything.
No. The writing is a little strange too. Not beyond that it's Arabic, but just the writing itself is you're not used to seeing it in these sort of columns.
Hey, Jack, can you locate the heat source in that room?
No, yeah. Where's the heat coming from?
Well, the heat actually comes from a pretty sizable oil heater. The room is kept. I mean, this feels like a sauna in here.
God, why is it so hot in here? All right, I'll look around real quick and see if I can find anything else of interest.
Well, this mirror is pretty striking. It's a dark mirror, and it's framed in this ornate gilded frame. There are strange faces worked into the frame itself. It almost reminds you of faces you saw in that thing in New York. They look like people.
Well, that's unsettling. Well, anyhow, Lillian wants me to help her get into a lock, right?
I'm shocked.
Can you make it down to the bedroom yet?
It's just actually across the hall.
Or whatever.
You step across the hallway and you see a roll-top desk.
All right, I will bend to the task. That's a hard success.
You get the lock picks out and you begin to crack into the desk. You meet the hard success requirement, and you see, as the roll top comes up, writing paper, pens, ink. There's quite a bit of what look like business items here. So some ledger paper with facts and figures on them for purchases, like spice purchases from Egypt and some from India as well.
Which we knew she was buying spices from those places because we discussed that when we visited.
Right.
It's true. If you'd like to both make me a spot hidden roll.
Success. 7,192.
47 out of 88.
So you both get the same sort of feeling from this desk, which is there's something more to it. It just...
Like hidden?
All right.
Well, nobody locks... Like, your thing, Jack, is that this lock is pretty intricate. And it seems like all they're locking in here is ink and paper and ledgers. I mean, there's nothing visibly, anyways, that would necessitate a lock of this quality.
Like I wouldn't lock any of this stuff up.
So
there must be
a hidden compartment. Yeah.
No, you do. You start moving around and you see that there is some sort of compartment here that allows a larger drawer to slide open on the right side of the desk. So basically, Jack, you press down on a section of the desk, and Lillian, you see that part on the right-hand side open up.
I smack Jack in the arm. Jack. And I point down at the drawer. So
inside, there are 2 sandstone vials with caps on them. There is this section, this part of the drawer is actually fairly sizable. You find a folded black silk robe. Do you keep rummaging?
Yeah, but what's in the vials? Does it look like the vial I brought back from the Penny Foundation?
It doesn't. It looks like somebody ground up a bunch of stone and put it into this vial. There's 2 of them.
Like the dust. Well, I wasn't there for the dust thing, huh?
You were not.
Okay, so I can't say that. Well, yeah, we keep rummaging in the drawer.
So something clatters inside it as you pick up the silk robe. And these objects kind of spill out from the inside of the robe itself. They're about a foot long or so. There's 2 of them. And one of these, for lack of a better term, honestly, Lillian, they remind you almost of scepter. One ends in this crooked end, and then the other scepter has a pretty noticeable inverted ankh on it. The shapes themselves seem pretty organic. So it isn't like they were added into the making of these rods. It's almost as if they were molded into those shapes, almost free form. The scepters are metal, but they're exceedingly lightweight. It doesn't look like any steel or iron you've ever held.
So I pick them up. My magic points regained.
You get 1 back per hour, so you probably by this point have regained 4.
Oh, and it took me 8 to do that last time. All right, fine then. I look at Jack. So what do you think these are used for?
Ceremony.
Should we take them back to Maeve?
Oh, yeah. And the vials.
No, I was already thinking of taking at least one of the vials. Do you have a satchel or anything on you? Because I don't. I'm assuming I brought a satchel.
Yeah, you probably did.
I open it and I put the items in there.
Okay. Hey, Mike.
Yep.
When she's doing that, I'm going to take that cat statue.
Oh, for love.
Okay.
Well, I don't manage to sleight of hand it. I failed that, but
so Lillian, you fairly directly see Jack walk to the window and, in an attempt to hide what he's doing, and yet fail to do so, you see him pilfer the cat statue.
What are you doing with that statue?
I like it.
Well, I like a lot of things, but you don't see me like trying to swipe it.
She says as she puts the scepters into her messenger bag.
Right, exactly.
They're so shiny. Shiny. Great. Did you find anything in the... I closed the hidden drawer, by the way. And
There's a bunch
in
of
the roll top.
statues and a really bizarre mirror I'd like you to take a look at.
Okay. I make sure the roll top's locked and the secret drawer is, closed. Somebody's going to know we've been here, Jack, since that cat statue is gone. Okay.
Well, that was everything else that's disappeared and the kicked in back door. But other than that.
Well, I mean, that's just... It is what it is. All right, so I go into the warm room.
Oh, wow, it's warm in here.
It is.
It's not
very
like
warm.
sweaty warm per se just yet, but for you, Lillian, but it does remind you of someplace far, far, far more humid.
Yeah, this is... Is there a bed or anything in there?
There is not a bed, but there are a couple of couches.
I wonder if it's to protect the statues. I look at the statues. Is there anything I recognize from, especially when I was at the Penny Foundation in the secret area?
You've got a cult, right?
I do.
Give me an occult roll, please.
Okay. Oh, I failed it. 58 out of 25. And I'm not lucking that.
I don't blame
You guys are amateurs.
I know.
So you know for sure that statue is Osiris. You're pretty sure, and maybe this one is Set. You think? Yeah, that's got to be Set. These are Egyptian deities. But it's weird that the cat, which you think is maybe Bast, was in the other room. That's strange. Wouldn't they keep them here?
So what do each of the deities do? Like, what is Bast the god of?
Goddess.
Goddess of?
Ryan, you failed your roll, so...
No, right. I'll shut up.
Well, all right. I was asking, right, that's true. I guess I can't know. Okay.
No, well, I mean,
I can look it up for myself.
we'll just leave it there.
We will.
They're also here, Lillian. The thing that catches your eye is the mirror that's on the wall.
I go over and I look at the mirror.
It's very, very beautiful. It's symmetrical. At least it seems that way. It seems a little strangely symmetrical as you get closer to it. The frame itself has some vaguely humanoid forms that have been kind of crafted into this gilded frame.
Does it make me feel uncomfortable to look at it? Because of the faces. Okay.
Not so much, no. Not necessarily uncomfortable. It's about, let's see here. The mirror itself is probably 12 inches high by, say, maybe 7 or 8 inches wide.
I wonder what they do in this room. Maybe worship with the statues and the mirror and the heat. That's the only thing that comes to mind, is that they use it as a place of worship.
Why don't you both give me a spot hidden roll?
Ooh, nice.
Extreme success.
Hard success.
So you both see, as you're both kind of drawn a little bit closer to the mirror, you see that you see the mirror itself ripple just for a moment. You think, like a pool of water.
Oh no, I gotta touch it. Gotta touch it. All right, so I reach my hand out and onto the mirrors.
I would like you to roll POW.
Roll and POW. I'll use 9 luck to or 10 luck to make that a success.
You put your back into it, so to speak, and you touch the mirror. It's hard as if it was just a mirror.
I look at Jack. I thought I saw something move.
Yeah. A few years ago, I would have thought you were crazy, but I can't say that as you're wrong.
Maybe you should touch it. You touch it.
I don't want to touch it. Okay, I'll touch it.
Okay. Yeah, Jack, roll POW.
Nope. I've never made a POW roll.
Yeah, it's a mirror. I mean, it must be the heat of the room getting to you.
Just because of what we saw, I'm going to stick that in my satchel too.
Okay. You lift it off the wall and stick it in the satchel. Your satchel's really full now.
Yeah, it's probably a little heavy. I think maybe it's time to go.
We'll look down that hall real quick before we take off.
Okay. I follow behind Jack.
You're going to go down the hallway, like towards the back of the spice shop?
Yeah.
Okay. You find a bathroom.
Oh,
Very nice
okay.
bed.
Oh, yeah.
And then you find a guest bedroom. What you think is a guest bedroom.
Nothing in here.
Both are nice, but at the same time, like, they're relatively rudimentary. Lillian, as you're getting the robe, that black robe and cap stowed in the bag, you notice that up the sleeves of one of these, of the robe itself, there's a piece of, like, this, you feel parchment up one of the sleeves.
I take the parchment out of the robe and unroll it. Can I read it?
Do you read Egyptian?
I do not. I read French. So into my satchel it goes.
Actually, when you open it, like, just see the first line of it, it's not even like the Arabic tongue. It's hieroglyphics.
So like that book that was in the other room?
Yeah. Well, no. Actually, the book in the other room is written in Arabic.
Oh. But
This
I thought
is written.
That's written
This-
go ahead.
This is just a bunch of hieroglyphics in a line. This looks like something that Howard Carter brought back from Egypt, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I put it back in my satchel.
Okay.
Are you
All right.
done looking around? Do you have any more cat statues you want to steal while you're here?
No, but I'm going to take that book in the other room.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'm sure Maeve will appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
for all I know, it could be some light Arabic reading, but I'm going to say something, Mike. I just want to know, how hard would it be to break the oil heater so that it starts on fire?
Oh my god.
Well,
I love it.
hard would it be?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would be terribly difficult, but speaking as just somebody who has a personal mechanical aptitude, that's not really fair. So I guess the question is for Jack is, what are your mechanical aptitudes, if any?
Well, I don't have much in the way of mechanical aptitudes.
So I guess let's take this in another direction. Let's see.
You got thumbs.
Right. I don't imagine that it's a very complex device. If it's an oil heater, no, it's probably not. So just like doing a quick search of them, they seem to be pretty rudimentary. I would imagine if you tipped it over, you would probably start the whole place on fire, probably relatively quickly.
Okay. The only way we're going to get out of here without them knowing somebody was in here and stealing all their stuff was be to cover it up. And the only way to cover up I can see is to burn the building down.
What? You know, if I had that idea, you and Simone would be like, really?
Yes, you're right, but I had the idea, so
Oh, so it's okay.
yeah.
You're gonna ruin that poor lady's business and everything. All right.
Yeah, that poor lady. You mean the cult leader? Yeah.
All right. Let's do this. Hey, can I do a listen real quick, Mike, to make sure there's nobody in the building?
Sure.
I had a hard success, 23 out of 70.
Yeah, there's nobody in the building. You're fairly certain of it, at least on this floor for sure.
What about the basement?
You
I haven't even.
been in the
We
basement.
haven't checked out the basement yet. Do you think we have time after you start burning the building down to go check out the basement, Jack?
I think we probably got a couple minutes.
Okay. Might want to, make like a tree and go really fast.
Yeah, why don't you head down there and I'll be right behind you.
Okay. Don't get lost.
Jack, why don't you give
This
me...
sounds like a setup for a murder.
It does.
It does kind of sort of sound like that. And it's nice to see that Jack's jumping in on the burning everything to the ground ideas. Though.
Well,
That's great.
you know, it's kind of what we do. So
Why don't you give me an intelligence roll, Jack? You're a pretty smart cookie.
yeah, it's a hard success.
So there's more than enough silks in here that if you were to kind of arrange certain things, like maybe this piece of furniture way closer to the heating, this heater element than it's supposed to be, and then maybe nab some silks from the next room and kind kind of give it a clear fabric path, you'd probably set the couches on fire here in maybe 5 or 10 minutes rather than immediately.
Yeah, that's probably a better plan. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I don't know what burning a place down, what kind of roll I need for that.
I don't think you need to roll at all.
Okay.
Why don't you just, if that's what you're going to elect to do, if that is your plan to prepare the room to basically catch fire, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I'll take care of the rest. So, Lillian, you're heading back downstairs to the main floor and then downstairs to whatever's in the basement?
Yes. Maybe. Yes.
That's wonderful.
That's by myself. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
You step down into the basement, into the cellar, and you end up in a there's a single electric light that you're able to raise here in the cellar area. And there's a very large pile on the coal chute there of coal nearby. It's a little colder down here, especially colder from when you were in the naturally warm room upstairs. This is definitely a huge temperature change.
Okay.
There's also a section of rope over here. There's maybe rope got used for something or other here to the left.
Can I see over there, or?
If you get a little closer, you think maybe you might be able to make out what it is.
My God, if it's alive, I'm gonna scream. Literally going to freaking scream. Is there anything like light-wise, or how lit is over there?
It's a single light. There's a single light at the bottom of the stairway here. This is a brick wall cellar. It's relatively dark otherwise. It's dirty, featureless. There's that big pile of coal filling the area near the coal chute itself. You can see where the coal chute comes down. You see just the edge of it there in the almost amber-ish colored bulb.
Yeah, and I don't have a flashlight or anything with me, so that's sweet. All right, I'll go. I look up the stairs to see if Jack is coming down yet.
No, he's not here yet.
I kind of inwardly sigh, and then I head over to where the ropes are.
The ropes themselves are nailed to what looks like a wooden post, and as you get a little closer to it, your eyes begin to make out the shape of a bed. And it looks like it's pressed up against the wall. There's a bed frame here, and it's pressed vertically up.
Oh, okay. So it's standing up.
Yeah.
Can I make out anything else, like a body or anything?
No, there doesn't seem to be anybody here physically. You're getting the feeling that there's an area of dead space between where the wall is here and where this bed frame is. And there are rope attachments on each of the 4 posts of this bed. So you begin to get this kind of sinking feeling in your stomach about what the bed is probably used for.
Why would the bed be standing up against the wall, though? I don't know. But there's nothing living over there. Or dead.
It does not appear to be, no. You start hearing some noises from upstairs, though, Lillian.
Like Jack or somebody else?
Sure. You start hearing footsteps on the wood floor upstairs.
Crap. Is there anywhere to hide down here?
Well, you could go out the coal chute if you wanted to climb up.
What do the steps sound like upstairs? Do they sound like a heavy man steps or like a lighter, like a woman?
Make me a listen roll.
Oh, really? Really? I spend 11 luck. Oh, I gotta spend way more than that. Nope. I'm not spending luck on that. Yeah,
you have to spend 19 luck on that.
Yeah, no. I'm not spending luck on that. So I guess I'm gonna go up the coal chute.
Okay.
I don't want to get caught.
So that's a climb roll to go up the coal chute.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fail that so hard. Can I push my listen roll instead?
How would you push it?
To get closer to the stairs to listen up.
Okay. Walk closer to the stairs. Try to listen again.
I got a hard success on that. 21 out of 70.
Yeah, there is definitely a significant weight to those steps. Those are a man's steps. Probably one that's of reasonable size as well.
Okay. I going to assume that's Jack, and I am going to, but just in case, I'm going to place my back against this, where the stairs are coming down. I'm assuming there's a wall there. Or is there just, there is, okay, I'm going to place my back against that so I'm kind of hidden.
Okay. Jack, you come downstairs. It's a little dark down here. I guess the question I have for Morgan really quick is, Lillian, are you trying to stealth? Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah, just in case that's not Jack and it's some other guy. I have my...
Okay, so roll stealth.
Oh, what am I wearing? Oh my god, my stealth is awesome.
Jack, you come down the stairs and you see Lillian trying to hide like in a corner somewhere.
Were you going to jump me?
No. I was just let me show you what I found over here. Yeah.
We only got a couple of minutes, so
Yes, yeah, let's do this. I take Jack over to where I found the bed and the post with the ropes and all that.
There's posts, there's ropes. It looks like at one point there might have been a space for a hook here, and you get that feeling, Jack, because it reminds you of Swift's, one of his rooms with the hooks in them. Like, these are the same holders. There are no hooks present, but this is what holds them.
Well, I'm sure certain terrible things have happened in this basement.
As you get closer to that bed frame, though, Jack, you see that there's a very small and somewhat hidden door handle that's like behind the bed frame.
Oh. That's right.
It's locked.
Fine. I don't have time to mess around with this, so I'm going to try one time.
Okay.
I kind of look at Jack. I'm like, I didn't see the door handle.
Okay. Yeah, you fish a pick in there and move it left and right for a bit, and then the door finally gives way.
Open it up.
There is a space behind this bed. There's a room back here.
A room, huh? Is there anything in it?
There is.
Is it alive?
It is not alive, actually.
Was it before?
So, in this space, it's a relatively small space. So, I would say, roughly speaking, it's maybe a 10 by 10 room. What you find in here is a large pillar that's seated in the back half of the room, and there is a figure that is slumped with its hands bound above its head with rope attached to this pillar. And there's quite a display of their guts and entrails that have been basically chopped out from under them. It almost appears as if the flesh of their stomach has been flayed open and their intestines have been pulled out piece by piece.
We're not rolling sanity, are we?
You are, but Jack's not. Jack doesn't have to.
Yeah.
I got a 34 out of 46.
This is pretty gross. You're not gonna take any sort of sanity damage for it, but yeah, you do not want to be here. That person is dead for sure, but...
Did you light the house on fire? I think we need to go.
Not yet, but I think I'm actually going to stop doing that. I'm going to go fix that.
What?
So, as you turn, there is a black stained piece of wood beyond this person, beyond this block. And there's this wood is set on this sort of shelf that's hammered into the far wall. And there's candles that ring this piece of wood. And the reason why you're seeing this figure, the entire reason why you can see the body in here, is the light given off from these candles. And as your eyes focus in on them just for a second, Jack, you see that there is a jet black piece of wood that has been crafted into a pharaonic statue. A beautiful and stunning pharaoh. I'm going to have you make me a power. How big is it? It's about 2 feet.
Well, hey, I succeeded in a power roll. Look at that crap.
You feel the urge to take this as well, but you realize that it may not be in your best interest to gamble.
No. But you know what I can do? I can take a picture of that.
Take your camera out.
Yeah.
Okay. You carefully take a picture.
I hate to do this, but I'm going to take a picture of the body, too.
Okay. It's pretty grisly.
Yeah, but there might be something of use. Okay. Let's get out of here.
So why are we stopping the lighting of the...
Originally, I was going to stop the fire because I was going to call the police and have them come in here. But I don't know if I want them to find that statue.
Because...
I don't know. There's something about it.
But at least you can't steal that.
Right. But if this place burns down, they might find some other stuff.
Yeah. Well, we should probably get out of here then. I'd prefer not to die in a fiery ball of flame.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
All right. I hurry out of the basement because I want to get as far away from that body as possible.
You hurry out of the basement and you head out the back door. I assume you wouldn't be crazy enough to go out the front, but just in case.
No.
And I would like the both of you to make me stealth rolls as you leave the alleyway.
Dude, I'm crashing that thing down is what I'm doing.
Extreme success.
37 out of 20. I'm like a moose.
Okay. So, Jack, you slip out of the wooden gate as if death itself was passing from one house to the next. Lillian, you slip out of the gate and your foot gets caught between the fence post and the gate. And you pull and pull, and there's this massive whack against your ankle. And you have to jerk it real quick and open the gate back up to get out. And that's when you hear someone scream, "Fire!"
Crap. I yank my foot out. As I'm sure it hurts like
A mother,
yes. So I yank it out quickly and I start limp running down, to follow Jack.
Yeah, I'll help her.
Okay. You two run, and you hear voices behind you like, hey, wait!
Must go faster.
I'll leave you there for a second. So back at the hotel, Lawrence, you have been in recovery mode mentally. It's unfortunate, but in the better part of the past few months, you have ended up spending some considerable time on your back, recuperating. But it has given you the opportunity to brush up on some reading and to enjoy the comfortable furniture that the hotel has to offer.
I've been thinking. I don't know how long the doctor has said that I'll need to be convalescing for. But I know that sooner or later we're going to be going to Egypt.
Yes.
I think I'd like to take this opportunity to figure out about how I can learn some Arabic.
Okay. Well, there is a rather learned woman in the room not too far that away. Maybe she might have a better clue. Or you could limp down to the front desk, I suppose.
I mean, it's not really limping. I just slow to the elevator.
Sure.
Really, no. Actually, what I would be doing is I assume that there would be someone who could instruct me on that, but I would be willing to gamble that it would have to be someone who, lives in London, who would know who to go to start learning a language, if I can at all.
Yeah. I mean, so systematically, Call of Cthulhu has a way for you to pick up new skills. That's not hard per se, but you would need a tutor, and you might
like
be
a
able
natural
to,
linguist.
Right. You might be able to call the front desk and see if they could put you in touch with perhaps someone at the university. That's probably the first place Lawrence thinks is, well, London University is not far from here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there just the other night. We're fairly close. Maybe
I
they
left
could.
parts of me there.
Right. Maybe they could get during normal business hours get in contact with someone at the university and see if there is if they offer any sort of tutoring services in Arabic. It is very popular right now. Egypt is hot as far as cultural goes.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
It's a worldwide phenomenon at this point.
Perhaps I could just ring the university. I don't want to take a trip out there. Nothing's going to happen.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I mean, you could still ring the university. It's getting on to just about close of business day for you, but you could still ring them.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask down to the desk for
They're happy to put you through to the University of London. So you get to King's College, and after a few departmental switchboards, you eventually get to department that deals with languages. Moreover, you get into the right department, and a relatively bright voice picks up the phone. Hello?
Hello.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes. It appears that my work is having some interactions with a company in Egypt, and they've asked for someone who could teach, well, what the Egyptians speak. I'm not quite sure what Arabic, I think.
Oh, of course. Everyone's got the bug. Yes, are you an attending student here of King's College or the university?
I'm afraid not. I was hoping, however, for a lead on perhaps a private tutor, or maybe there was somebody there who'd be willing to tutor for a fee.
Oh, I'm sure I could put you in touch with someone during more of a regular business day. Most of the professors and tutors have since gone. Could I get your name, sir?
Yes, Lawrence Forsyth.
Oh, Mr. Forsyth, good. Thank you for calling. And is there a residence or a number they could reach you at?
Yes, I'm staying at the Waldorf.
Oh, wonderful.
I'll be to have the desk ring for Lillian Lane's room.
Oh, really? You hear the voice and get rather curious. Well, I shall I'll give them a note right away. Right away, sir.
Thank you.
They hang up. Speaking of strange women handing out swords and pawns, or our own favorite Maeve O'Shea. Maeve, you are, an array of things in front of potentially. Where are you spending the latter half of the afternoon?
I'm going to go see... Well, I'm going to call the society first.
Okay.
And see if they have a book that will help me learn French.
Oh, absolutely.
They do?
The society? Yeah, it's a... Yeah. I mean...
Okay.
Languages are going to be the basis of a lot of the different occult and such material that the society would deal with. So there would be basic books on translations, basic books on learning a language. Yeah.
Okay. So then if they do, then I will go to the society with the book of Iban and start learning French and translating.
Okay. So if you'd like to make an intelligence roll, given your pulp feats, we'll see how far you get.
Alrighty.
And you're at advantage.
Does that mean I get an extra die?
It means, yeah, effectively you get to roll twice.
Oh, right. Okay, hard success, 40 out of 90. My second one is 3 out of 90.
Okay, I'm assuming you're going to want to take the extreme success. I mean, yeah. Call me crazy. I guess the question would be is you're looking to begin translating, or you're going to begin looking to understand French as a language.
Yes, because I mean, I do want to translate the book, but if I know the other book I have with notes that Elias made in it were also in French. So, to me, it seems like it would be a good idea just to learn it in general.
Yeah, I think that you would start almost as a human Rosetta Stone. You begin picking apart the language and how it works. Begin your correlation from English to French and French back to English, and you just sort of kind of begin consuming the conjugations and you begin consuming the words themselves, literally or figuratively anyway, eating the translation book as you pore over it. And probably within a few hours, you're already writing sentences out in French, which help you understand how to read the book that you've got. And you already begin, probably after a few hours, begin lining up words. This is not nearly as difficult as everyone made it seem. You think that if you studied this for maybe a week, you could probably get a fair grasp of what they're trying to convey, at least in a lot of these French words. It would sure make Elias's notes way easier to read.
Mm-hmm. Then I guess I will see if I can borrow this book.
Yeah, you remember. Absolutely.
All right. Then I will take it with me. And what other languages do they have here?
I mean, just looking around, probably any number. So they would have Latin. They would have,
which I already know,
a form of Arabic. They would have German.
Right. Well, I just wanted to get a quick look, like in case I need anything else.
Sure.
But I'll take the book on French and head back to the hotel.
Okay.
So I can grab some food and continue studying.
Okay. Jack and Lillian, where are you heading after what you've done?
You mean what Jack did by lighting stuff on fire?
You agreed.
Well,
You were
that's
there.
true.
You're accessory.
I am an accessory to the arson.
We're going to take a roundabout way to getting back to the hotel.
Okay.
Limping very slowly.
Yeah. It takes you probably the better part of an hour or so to work your way back to the hotel without causing an issue for your ankle, Lillian, without arousing suspicion from some of the locals. And it isn't difficult to hear the response from Soho as this rather bohemian location, this melting pot of cultures, begins to respond to the fact that there's a burning building in the center of Soho. But you make it back to the hotel, and you definitely need a drink.
And some ice on my foot, my ankle.
So it's probably mid-evening when you return, which is probably also around about the time that Maeve gets back from the society.
Well, we can retire upstairs and have the doctor look at Lillian's leg.
That's an excellent idea. So I'm going to go really quick to Southampton, though.
What up?
Because as night arrives, so does Simone into the train station in Southampton.
I will exit the train and begin making my way toward... And I'll take the exit that I feel is closest to the docks, closest to the water. And the first thing I'm going to scout for is ideally an abandoned warehouse or an abandoned business, a place that looks like it's kind of been shut down or otherwise is in disrepair or boarded up or what have you.
Yeah, I don't think that's too difficult in the docks area to find at least a building.
And I will do my best to try to find one that doesn't... If there are squatters, I'm going to ignore them. I'm just looking for one that has essentially, they wouldn't be called like bay doors, basically. Like something big enough to, if I needed to, I don't know, drive a vehicle into, I could.
Yeah, I don't think that would be difficult to find at all.
Okay. Okay, I will...
Given shipping are going to come off the boats and into trucks, basically.
Then I will make a note of the location of the one that I've found in my little journal and look about for squatters or vagrants or anyone just kind of lingering.
Give me a luck roll.
Okay.
See if there's anyone around and out and about.
That is a failure, the 59 out of 27.
So there are some, but they don't appear to be conscious. They seem to be perhaps maybe into the bottle a little too quick tonight.
It's fine. It's just fine. Okay, so just kind of getting an idea as to where it is. I'll try to be mindful of like where the approach is, and if I were to, I'll think about what the drive here would look like if I were to come from London, and basically how I'd have to get here, while I start looking for the workers either coming off of a job or wishing that they had one.
Oh, there's a few.
Excellent. How drunk are they?
Some of them are probably quite in the bottle at this point.
Okay. I will be looking for someone who they seem to be maybe cloistered around. Someone who kind of, I'll try to figure out who in their group is best representative, or someone who they seem to be kind of listening to or taking cues from.
There's one man here that is a bit maybe taller than the rest, and he seems to have gotten quite the seasoning as far as the seas go. He's got a thick beard on. Maybe it's a bit scraggly at the edges. He almost sort of reminds you of the Ivory Winds captain a little bit, except that he's a little bit broader at the shoulders. He has an air of, I don't know, he feels like a foreman or a supervisor of some sort.
Okay. And I will pay attention to their shoes. Does he have the nicest shoes?
Yeah, probably.
I'll make my way over to them. I'll do my best to kind of catch his eye from like outside the group. I don't want to necessarily accost them, but I'll put myself in what I would consider to be like his just inside his peripheral vision, and I'll stare hard and make sure that if he looks in my direction to see my approach, that I am definitely eyeballing him.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take probably more than a few moments before when you step into his peripheral vision that his head turns towards you. And he almost does like a double take. Like he looks at you, and then he seems to go back to what he was doing, and then he notices that you're staring at him. Mm-hmm. And he kind of stops the conversation, takes a swig out of the bottle that these four men are passing around, and says, problem?
Not in the slightest. I was actually hoping that we could perhaps talk about an opportunity that has come up that perhaps you and your friends here might be interested in performing some short-term work.
Work, eh? There's no work here for us.
I beg to differ. There is actually a job I have lined up that is happening in London. Pretty short notice. You may have to straighten up a bit, depending on how soon I can turn this around, but I can promise that it pays well. Perhaps 12 shillings apiece for a night's work.
One of the men that has the bottle stop and look over. 12 shillings, eh?
How many of them are there?
There's 4.
That would, assuming that the 4 of you could make short work of the task at hand. Obviously, if more of you are required, then I would have to cut the pay. I'll kind of side-eye them a bit. See if any of them get puffy.
You see the lead man says, I don't know what job it is, but we ought to be able to handle. We just need something unloaded or loaded or what?
If I have my way, it would be both, actually. There is a ship docked in London. Are you familiar with the Ivory Wind?
She hasn't docked here that I know of. You said London?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. There are a number of packages on board that we will be unloading and moving some packages on board. It's a very simple exchange. There will be another requirement if you can provide me with perhaps assistance acquiring a truck capable of moving about a a dozen or more cargo crates. Thinking back to the shipment itself, do I think like one truck would do it?
If you packed it right, yes.
Assuming that your packing skills are as adequate as need be.
We can pack a truck, that's not a problem. You're paying twice the going rate, 3 times depending where you are, so... You sure about this? Is for real? You see a younger man kind of pipe up. I don't want to go up to London for no reason.
I wouldn't want to come to Southampton for no reason as well. It's my understanding this area has been hit pretty hard by recent events. I sympathize with your situation. I came here instead of hiring locally.
There's more than a blokes here get your truck loaded and unloaded if that's what you need. And we're game, yeah, boys? A couple of men begin to get riled up a little bit about making money.
Do you, perhaps, you know I can secure a truck or you can provide one?
Truck.
We still have plenty of time to accomplish this. However, it would probably be best if we were to do this a bit later in the evening. I will say that and try to convey probably the part of this that they're hoping that I'm not leaning toward, like there's little off. Like I'll let my body language and kind of my tone convey that it's a little sensitive.
See if Noah here, the lead of them, can judge your intent. He narrows his eyes a little bit and adjusts his hat. So maybe a bit off the books.
There shouldn't be any trouble, assuming that everything that I need to do will go as intended, but I will not be present for the exchange. I would simply need you to be around the docks around the hour that I provide you, and you can simply wait for the signal to bring your team and the truck to the ship that the dock number that I provide you with.
I see what's going on here. All right. It's been almost a season since we've had any work, but if this is what I think it is, we want 15 shillings apiece.
I'll smile pretty big at him. For that price, I'm assuming then that we can be certain to bring the truck and all of its contents to a location that I provide.
Yeah, we'll get it done. You tell us when to be there. I'll have the truck. We'll load out whatever you need. I'll need the dock that you wanted to show up to. He takes a swig out of the bottle.
I scribble a few things down on a piece of paper. Basically, I'll give him the dock number. Looking at the time now, I'll check my watch. What time is it right now?
It's about 8 p.m. for you.
Okay, so an hour to get there. Who knows how long to do the other stuff. I will say 1 a.m. for them to be near the docks and to look for a blue light in the sky.
Okay.
The captain, which will be there, will provide you with information regarding which packages you will be moving. I have to go now to looking around. Where are we?
You're on one of the off streets from the docks. So if the docks are next to obviously the water line, you're at a couple streets beyond those, back towards where the pubs are. And
so the rest of the information I'm going to write down on the sheet based on what I remember about the load. Basically, I'm going to scribble down some dimensions,
okay,
and some numbers, like roughly, basically based on what I remember about the load, minus the shoebox, obviously. There were 15 or 16 packages, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And there were a lot of big boxes. There was one really big one that I definitely remember. And then there were a few that were not quite that big. So I'll scribble down what I think the spread basically was. When you bring the truck, make sure it is already filled with the boxes and the numbers that I have provided here. These are the ones that you'll be bringing on board. Feel free to stock them with A.
Yeah, I got you. Switcheroo.
I believe this will be a beneficial arrangement for everyone involved.
It's 3 weeks' pay for me.
There's 4 of them, right? And he said 15 shillings a piece.
Yep.
So that's 60. So I will produce 30.
Okay.
Which I will offer him open-handed.
Yeah, he takes it. When he takes it, he, in the same breath, begins cutting it out between the other three people.
Yeah, I was going to wait to see if he was already handling that. So they all look like they all look like they're comfortable with each other, it seems.
Yeah.
While they're doing that, I disappear.
Good idea. Back to the hotel. So, back at the Waldorf, we get Jack and Lillian entering, and then soon after that, Miss O'Shea. Lillian, I assume you're going to put your foot up in one of these, in the conjoined room there to get your weight off of your foot.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Maeve, you come into that, and it looks like maybe Jack is trying to get some ice for her foot.
I'll just raise an eyebrow and keep looking in my book as I go to our room.
Hey, we have a couple things for you to look at.
Oh?
Yeah.
What do you have?
I guess we'll
Yeah. I just pick up my satchel and I raise it at her. There's something in there for the doctor as well.
I will rifle through her satchel and look.
Okay. So there's a dark mirror. You see, it's, as mentioned before, it's ornate gilded frame. There are 2 vials of this red-brown sandstone.
Okay.
There's a robe and some type of skull cap that are tailored for what looks to be, well, a woman your size.
Interesting.
It's also embroidered with an inverted ankh.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
Well, I have some notes on the inverted ankh, okay?
There's a scroll that is written in Egyptian hieroglyphics. And then there are 2 metallic scepters. One has a hooked end, although they call it a crook, so it's not a pointed hook.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other is an inverted ankh. And they are you don't know what they're made of. They're made of something metallic, but it doesn't feel like any metal you've ever felt before.
Well, it looks to me that you stumbled upon the Black Pharaoh cult. Correct?
Yeah. I'd say so.
The inverted ankh is what gives it away.
Well, she's gonna probably need a new house.
You know what?
Okay.
Don't bring it up.
I just side-eye over at Jack and then close my eyes.
So you happen to see like a mask? Like a golden mask?
No, I'd say golden mask.
Like well, it'd be like a pharaoh's mask.
Kind of like that other one we have.
You have a rubbing of.
No, we have
No, not the one
we
with
have
the worms in its mouth.
No. The mother of pearl one that we have.
No, this is a golden one. Hold on. I'm going to pull out Life is a God. Because in the back, when it talks about him at the school, wasn't there a picture of that Egyptian bust?
Yeah, there's a picture of it, somewhat rudimentary sketch of this bust. But Jack, you haven't seen anything like that.
No, nothing like that in there.
Oh, okay.
I have to develop a couple pictures because I found a statue down in the basement that was interesting.
Jack, do you have anything else you'd like to give Maeve?
No. Oh, it was
Anything else?
no.
Maybe you should let Maeve
No.
look at your stat. I'm sure she'll give it back.
It's just a statue.
That you really, really want.
It was nice. I liked it.
Okay. My ankle hurts too much to try to prod Jack to get that out of his grubby little hands.
Wait, why are his hands suddenly grubby?
But it's a saying. I'm not saying they're actually grubby. Did he give me ice for my ankle yet, or is he still?
Yes, I got your ice.
He's making a drink, actually. Sorry.
Oh, he's not giving me ice. Well,
He's drink first.
Well, yeah, I can do
priorities.
But yeah, this is quite the haul that they seem to have come across, Maeve.
Yeah, the most interesting thing to me is going to be the book and the mirror. Because the robe is just ritual stuff for Black Pharaoh, and same with the crook and the cane, essentially. Or crook and scepter. And the scroll. Even though I don't know how to read it yet, I'll figure it out. Because there might be a spell on it.
Well, with those collected items now back at the hotel, Simone, you are heading back to London, yes?
Yes, I am.
All right, so what we're going to do, our coda for tonight is you back on the train heading back to London, I imagine, with a date with the Ivory Wind in your future.
Oh yeah, we're looking for a captain, actually.
Can't wait. That sounds like a wonderful place to end. So thank you all for joining us for this episode of Masks of Nyarlathotep. I want to thank all of our patron backers again. You make the show possible, and you make it tons more fun. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.